It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful world of Sorare, and we do have a bit of a theme this week, and it's all about how do I practice patience? How do I achieve a Zen state? How do I remain calm and patient in the world of Sorare? That's kind of what I'm going to be touching on today as we review my week just gone, as we preview my week coming up, and as we look at the cards that I've been trading and buying since last week's video. I'll just be mentioning a little bit about how I'm practicing patience, because for me, that is a key way how I play Sorare. I play in a kind of very patient, calm way. I try not to say, I don't think I'll ever buy Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, all of their stacks at the beginning of the season for loads of money and then just try and win as much as I can throughout the season. That's just not the way I think I'll ever play. I'm far more considered and patient. And this week, I've lost a little bit of that patience. I found myself kind of wanting to impulse buy into lots of cards that I probably don't need. And I've made a few little purchases, not crazy big purchases. I'll show you later the cards I bought. But I made a few little new in-season Premier League purchases that probably I didn't need to do, and I'm overthinking things, I think. So I'm going to dial things back. I kind of caught myself doing that, and I thought, okay, that's the topic for this week's video. How do I stay patient and calm? And if you've got any tips, it would be really appreciated if you could let me know in the comments. How do you stay calm, focused on sort of your goals in Sorare, focusing on certain leagues, certain divisions, and not spreading yourself too thin? Because for me, I always worry that I'm going to end up buying too many Sorare cards across all of these divisions that I don't care about. And there is an MLS competition that's coming up. And this is a big example of how I'm not going to buy MLS cards. I'm not going to enter this MLS competition that's coming up just because I have no interest in the MLS league. I'm a big European leagues guy and Mexico guy. I watch Mexican football. I watch a lot of Premier League football, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga. I watch, Europe's big leagues and Mexico. And across that and having a baby and trying to run a life, it's kind of like, that's enough for me. I don't need to add MLS to that, because if I go serious on MLS, I'm going to want to watch all the games. I'm not just going to want to see the results or the highlights. I'm going to want to watch the games, especially whatever teams I have, whatever cards I buy. I'm going to want to watch 90 minutes of those cards. And that's just not a time that I'm willing to give to Sorare. And also, I've looked at the prizes. I don't think the prizes in MLS are as good as the money it'll need to take to invest in MLS. So I'm just leaving MLS out this year. I'll watch you guys playing it. If you guys win big rewards and seem to be having a lot of fun, I just, a league where Zaha is one of the big name signings this summer and Giroud still playing there is just not, I'm just not drawn to it, basically. So you guys have fun with that. I'm going to remain calm and I'm going to remain patient. And how am I going to practice patience? I'm going to practice patience by not avoiding the MLS league, not being tempted like I am, not going for it and just holding back. Maybe I give it a few months, then I join late, but that's one way I'm practicing patience. Let's start this week's video as we're practicing patience, as we're Zen this week. Let's have a look at how I did last weekend in a very uneventful, unrewarding weekend in Sorare. Right then, this is how I'm currently doing midweek. Before I show you game week 52, which was last weekend, game week 53 is currently live. And I kind of put together a Champions League lineup, which I thought was competitive. I thought had a chance. I've bought a Savinho card lately, which again, maybe I shouldn't have bought. Maybe I should have. I bought a Savinho card lately. Part of that logic was I'm trying to get a few bigger teams, few bigger cards that play in Champions Leagues, because I've got a Barcelona stack, but they weren't playing this Champions League set of fixtures. So I was down to my Monaco boys, my Man City boys, and Santiago Jimenez. I've actually got, this transfer window has been good for me and AC Milan. I've actually bought a Kyle Walker card recently because I already had a João Felix card. He's gone to AC Milan. And basically, I've almost got this full Chelsea collection. And half of them are at AC Milan now. Loftus-Cheek, João Felix, Tammy Abraham's there. There's a whole bunch of ex-Chelsea players at there. So I've got João Felix. I already had a Santiago Jimenez. So those two cards that I already had have both gone to AC Milan. So I was kind of thinking, okay, I don't have Pulisic from this Chelsea collection because he's always overvalued. I think because he's a midfielder card or something like that, I can never seem to get him at a sensible price. But if I do eventually get that Pulisic, I'll have a lot of AC Milan cards. I'll have Jimenez, Pulisic, Felix, arguably three. Maybe not the best because Rafael Leao is the other one, and he's probably the best one. But I've got the three best of the rest at AC Milan. So I added a Kyle Walker because I was like, I might as well throw a defender in there. And I've got a few cards like Foden from this Man City collection. So I thought, chuck a Walker in there. Enjoy the second half of the season in Serie A with Kyle Walker. So we're building a little AC Milan collection, basically. And we put this Champions League team together, but Monaco lost 1-0 to Benfica, which was really annoying. City lost to Real Madrid, and AC Milan lost to Feyenoord. So all of my teams lost. Practice patience. It was good on paper. How are we practicing patience? Well, I'm trying to remind myself that on paper, as long as I still keep thinking my lineups are good on paper, like there's a realistic chance that this team could, there was logic to this team. You know, I thought Man City would really attack Real Madrid. I didn't expect them necessarily to win. Definitely didn't expect a clean sheet, but I wasn't playing any defenders. I was playing Savinho and Foden. I thought they'll attack. They're going to want to take some goals to that second leg. And they did get 2 goals, but it wasn't that rewarding for these two players. AC Milan, Santiago Jimenez has been in great form, scored the game before. So again, made sense to go for Santiago Jimenez. I don't think away at Feyenoord was the hardest game, but didn't pay off. And then Monaco at home to Benfica, they just couldn't keep that clean sheet. Monaco, they're a bit in a wobbly form at the moment, so I had no other goalkeeper and defender to go for as well, so it's not like I could have picked another team. So this was the best team I could have picked. And I think when the knockout stages come back and I've got my Barcelona collection, I think some of these teams could still pair nicely with those Barcelona cards like Rafinha and Lewandowski. So I think, I've got to remind myself, I didn't win anything this midweek, but we're building a collection, we're building a gallery where these are all young players. Foden, Savinho, some of these are under 23 cards, Santiago Jimenez, and they should have bright futures in football. And I've got their cards. I'm not planning on selling them. So I'm building to my gallery slowly and becoming, hopefully, a better Sorare manager. Now let's take a look at the weekend just gone. Game week 52, there were these special competitions that we didn't take too seriously. We mainly were just building XP. Then we had a couple of big scores here. Malik Fofana, my wonder kid in France, is back from injury and he's came back with an assist. Coming off the bench, assist, 4-0 win, 71, lovely stuff. Marcus Alonso, Chelsea legend, one of my favourite cards, captained him, he did well as well, even though he got a yellow card. Always seems to be getting booked lately, Soleil's doing well at Udinese still. Sagir putting an okay score. That Monaco game, I watched it against PSG on Friday, hoping for a miracle, hoping for the Friday curse to save me, but alas, it didn't. So then we go to, so there wasn't any Premier League in-season football last weekend because it was FA Cup weekend. So we had no Premier League in-season football. So that's partly the reason why rewards were reduced. However, we had La Liga in season. We're having a lot of fun in La Liga. We won a one-star box from our Raf and Friends lineup because Rafinha and Lewandowski both did well, both scored. But we were let down by Dimitrovic, Aged, Saul. Aged made a costly mistake and got a yellow card. How do we practice patience? We try not to get too annoyed. I'm trying to think, at least I didn't get relegated. And he's a great defender, Aged. He's not going to concede a penalty and get a yellow card every game. So this is a one-off. The goalkeeper lost to Valencia. Valencia having a terrible season. I thought Leganes got a nice chance to get a good result here at Valencia. They lost 2-0. What can we do? And Saul, a yellow card, did get an assist. I did say last week I'm playing Saul in this lineup because even though they're playing Barcelona, I still fancy them to score against that Barcelona. I never fancy Barcelona to keep a clean sheet. So whoever's playing Barcelona, whichever striker, they've got a chance of scoring. So Saul was the kind of guy that I went for that reason. I thought maybe he gets the assist in the goal. And he did. But he got a yellow card and got 64 in the end. So an okay score. There are positives to take from this. And look, these two scores were great. Danny Rabah had a great score. In this league, Alvarez had a great score. So, I have 3, 4, 5 cards across the lineups getting good scores. And I think a good lesson maybe perhaps for remaining calm, remaining patient is as long as you're getting the good scores across the lineups, you're getting beyond, say, 60 scores. You're getting an 80 here, a 112 here, a 74 here. As long as you're kind of doing that, there'll be weeks when you put them all together. Surely. So instead of panicking like, oh, this lineup did bad, I want a new goalkeeper, a new defender, I'm going to buy myself an expensive defender, expensive goalkeeper. That way I'll guarantee a reward next weekend, which is kind of my instinct, is to kind of go, right, we didn't win any rewards this week. How do we buy our way into rewards? Probably not the way to go. And also, I don't think it's as satisfying. I think it's more satisfying to be patient and wait till that Nottingham Forest stack smashes a team 7-0 like they did a few weeks ago and you get rewards. I think that's a better way. Because say if I buy all the best cards, I'll win money, I'll win rewards, but will it be as satisfying as me single-handedly picking a few gems here and there and then they smash on certain weeks? I think it's how you play. But I need to remind myself on weekends like this how I'm playing, because otherwise I just feel myself getting itchy and wanting to buy cards and going away from my strategy, which has served me well so far this season. The money I've put in this season has been paid back and then some. So if I keep doing that every year, putting in money into the game that I don't mind losing, winning more from that, I think that's a good long-term strategy for me. Champion. We played Champion in season with a Monaco stack that lost against PSG. To be honest, I'm just happy I didn't get relegated. Is that a good way? Is that a way to remain calm? Remind myself, at least I didn't get relegated. Kyle Walker made his debut with a good score, but all the Monaco boys did bad against PSG. Again, it was PSG away, probably the hardest fixture for Monaco. So I can't get too emotionally destroyed at this week's performance. My Monaco collection, I bought them for half the fixtures this season when they're playing lower half of the team table. When they're playing top half teams in the table, I'm not really expecting too much. When they're playing PSG away, I'm definitely not expecting much. But I didn't get these cards for this weekend. I got them for other weekends when they got those easier games in Ligue 1. Then we had Challenger warm-up. Contender, we had apparently nothing in Contender. We're offline. Actions may not work. We're back online. Contender in season. So I'm starting to enjoy Contender in season a little bit, mainly because I've just got Mexican cards and I've got these two boys from my Deportivo Alaves collection who are now playing in the Spanish second division, so are now Contender in season. And most weeks they're doing well. They're playing for Granada, who are a good team in the league. So again, it was a bit of a tricky fixture this week, although it was a home game. I'm hoping that more weeks than not, these two Granada boys smash. Then I've got my Mexican boys behind them. Paradella. Round of applause for Paradella. He's having a great season, Paradella. Necaxa are having quite a good season as well. And I've got a few Necaxa cards. I've got Atlas cards. I've got Santos cards. Maybe a couple of Tigres cards and Cruz Azul cards. So I've got a nice kind of balanced set of cards in Mexico where I can play a good team in Classic and a good team now in in-season. I've just bought myself an in-season Mexican goalkeeper as well to go with Doria. So I bought the Atlas goalkeeper. Again, they're like £2 or £3 in-season cards. Contender Mexico. It's a league that I like watching. I live in Mexico, so I may as well enjoy the culture, enjoy the football, and Sorare's helping me do that. So Contender in season, 2-star box. I haven't won any cash from my in-season yet in Mexico with the Mexican cards, but I'm winning boxes and it's making the games way more fun. I would happily pay £5 every other weekend to make Mexican football more fun for me to watch. So again, it's one of those things where, how do I stay calm and focused? In Sorare, I remind myself things like that. That's another tip. That I'm not just playing to win Sorare prizes. I'm also playing to make live football viewing more enjoyable. And whether I win or lose in Sorare, whether I get rewards in a weekend or not, it's every weekend is more fun with Sorare. Whether I'm winning or losing, every weekend watching football is more interesting because of Sorare. So again, that's another little Zen tip. I teach myself, I remind myself so that I don't go, why did we not win any cash this week? Stoichkov did bad, sell him, get another big hitter. This guy did bad, get in another big hitter. Who's hot right now? We don't play like that. We do not play like that. Brunetta is in great form. Brunetta will be playing in the in-season lineups shortly because we cannot be wasting these Brunetta scores in Classic. So he has to be. So part of the reason why I bought a goalkeeper in season in Mexico is so that I could play my Brunetta and my POV when he has a good fixture, play those guys in season. Because right now I'm always playing a Classic goalkeeper. And the goalkeepers aren't even that expensive, so it's better to just get a cheap in-season goalkeeper, I think, in my opinion, and then play one of the big hitters in Classic with the in-season guys. So that's going to be my in-season strategy going forward. Alexis Sanchez is back scoring goals for the Burgos boys, so that's great. Under 23s, Gianni Stukas. Every week, Gianni Stukas can't stop scoring. Can't stop. 126 from him. What a player. Single-handedly stopping us getting relegated most weeks. And then these were the last ever training lineups because Sorare has now removed training lineups. So that's how I did last weekend. Let's take a look at the new cards that I've been buying. And the last card that I showed you that I bought was last week's video would have been 8 days ago. So it would have been this Monaco backup goalie. And to be honest, I've not got any really exciting cards since last week's video. I've mainly just been topping up my collections. West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Monaco, and Atlas. Atlas are a new collection that I'm building. So this is a West Ham collection piece, collection from auction. So they've got a nice collection score on him. Kyle Walker, a slightly non-collection card that I bought, but I am kind of buying him because I am slowly building this Manchester City team's collection. I'm not going to get to 4 or 5% because I'm buying all of the cards secondhand. However, I've got Kyle Walker now, Foden, and one more. Julian Alvarez. So I bought Walker to help with my AC Milan classic cards, Alvarez to go with the La Liga in season, and Foden to go with my Premier League in season. So I've now got 3 cards from this Man City team, which makes me think I'm scouting that collection now and going, where's other bargains? Who are playing? Because Man City are not in good form at the moment. It's a good time to buy Man City cards, in my opinion. So that's what I'm doing. I've got my eye on a Rodri for next season. I might try and pick up a Rodri in a few weeks before next season because I'll get Rodri from this season. And again, it's another card from that collection. And I'm sure Rodri, when he's back from fitness next season, will be one of the best classic cards. So I've got my eye on a Rodri, but maybe I'll buy him in the summer break. We got a Xavi for our Barcelona collection, Wolves collection cards here, Monaco collection cards, Wolves in-season goalkeeper, Jose Sa. Now, I don't like Jose Sa as a player. I wish they gave Sam Johnston more of a chance, but Jose Sa is the goalkeeper for Wolves. He's the one who's getting all the games. So that's an in-season Premier League goalkeeper card I just can't go without. I've got my Wolves collection up to 4% now, and it will hit 5% once all of the players have not been transfer listed for 90 days. So I'm going to have a 5%, it'll be my first 5% collection. So I've got to have the goalkeeper from that. He's 31 years old. Even if he leaves Wolves next year, he'll be a good goalkeeper somewhere else. Maybe he goes to a different European league, hopefully not Saudi. Hopefully he stays in Europe, goes to a different European league, or stays at Wolves even. I don't mind him staying at Wolves now that I've got his card for quite a good price for a Premier League in-season goalkeeper. And as I've been saying, Wolves' fixtures are going to turn in about 2 weeks, and then they're going to have a great set of fixtures and desperate to survive in the Premier League. So I want Wolves. The other team I've gone for is Everton attacking stack. I already had Dwight McNeil, who's injured, and Jesper Lindstrom, who I'm kind of banking eventually gets good for Everton because he's playing every week, looks lively, just isn't quite clicking. So then I thought, okay, Everton have got some nice fixtures coming up. Plus, I think they're in really good form. And they're in the same position as Wolves, where they're lower down in the Premier League rankings. But I think Wolves and Everton are both going to start kicking into gear soon, trying to survive in the Premier League. So I've got myself an Ndiaye, another Wolves collection piece, a Doucouré, which I got, it says 41p, but I think I got him for 28p. 28p for a Premier League player who's playing as a number 10 right now, I thought was too good to be true. Then I bought him. A few days later, he gets sent off against... did he get sent off against Liverpool? Yeah, red card against Liverpool. And to make things even more hilarious, I bought Ndiaye and Doucouré and Branthwaite all before the Liverpool game, because I secretly had a feeling Everton will do well against Liverpool, and because I've been really impressed with how Moyes is doing. And I thought the prices are going to go up if they have a good game against Liverpool, prices are going to go up when people see they've got better fixtures coming up and they've just done well against Liverpool. So I bought these guys all before the Liverpool. Now, maybe this is me panic buying and trying to be too clever. Maybe that's me trying to go, well, I've got some success from Forest and Wolves and Bournemouth and Palace. Who's the next one? Who's got good fixtures coming up? Everton. So I bought some of their cards. And Dye got injured against Liverpool. Decore got sent off against Liverpool. Now I'm without those two guys for next week. So maybe they weren't necessary purchases. Maybe I need to calm down and stop buying Premier League in-season cards now. I might just only buy cards to help with my collections and kind of prepare for next season now. Maybe save my money for next season's hiked prices before the season starts. I've still not decided, but I think I've got enough of a good gallery for Premier League in-season now till the end of the season. So I think I should probably stop trying to buy so many Premier League in-season cards now. These could be the last ones you see me buy. Then we had another Monaco card for the collection, Wolves card for a collection, and here's the Atlas goalkeeper that I was telling you about. So I've now got quite a few, not quite a few, I've got like 4 or 5 Atlas cards, and this guy scores well occasionally. Look at this run. From game week 18 to 21, some big scores here. So on his day, he scores well. And I've got Doria, one of my favorite players in Mexico, as my in-season Atlas defender. Made sense to pair him with the goalkeeper. And yeah, he was like £3. £3 for an in-season contender goalkeeper. No brainer. So I'll be watching Atlas games with a bit more intensity now, and that'll make it more fun. So those are the new cards I've been buying and trading since last week's video. Let's finish this week's video in a zen, calm state, remaining patient, and look at my lineups for the coming weekend. Here we go. These are my lineups for the coming weekend, which is game week 54, and there is a La Liga collector event where you can win VIP tickets to La Liga games, which is exciting, and I do have some La Liga cards. However, I live in Mexico. I'm not making it to Spain anytime soon for a La Liga game, so I'm not going to be entering that competition. I looked at the prize pool, and unless I want to get tickets, which I don't really want, it's not the event for me. So I'm going to be leaving that one for all of you people that have a better chance of actually going to the games. We've got some ultra defensive teams here, which I'm not taking too seriously, where you play 3 defenders and 2 goalkeepers, which, as someone that doesn't have that many goalkeeper cards, seems a bit wasteful. So these are just to build up XP. Then we have an all-star competition again, just building XP. These 4 cards, the outfielders, should all play. So there is a chance that maybe all 4 of these guys smash. Lamina, one of my Wolves cards, is now playing in Turkey. He's gone to Galatasaray, which is great for me because he wasn't playing for Wolves. So I'm hoping he kicks his career off, really gets his going at Galatasaray. Hopefully can get in the first team soon. And whenever he does, I'm waiting for that Lamina Galatasaray move to work. So he's in there in case that works. Premier League is back. Premier League in season is back, and I will have a show on Monday, live YouTube show on Monday coming up after the Monday Night Football's finished, where I'll be reviewing all of the Premier League's football, talking about it, what it means for Sorare. We had a great show 2 weeks ago. If you can join me again for that, it'd be great to see some of you again. So yeah, stay tuned on Monday, Premier League live show. But for now, the lineups that I will be reviewing in that show that have hopefully won me millions and millions are going to be... It's a tricky weekend this weekend for me. I'm not really expecting much, and I think I need to be realistic with my lineups. I've got Forest, Crystal Palace as my kind of 2 stacks. I've got some Wolves cards, but Wolves are playing Liverpool away, so I'm not expecting anything from the Wolves cards. And Nottingham Forest have got an away game. It's Fulham, so I'm going to be backing Forest still, because Forest surprised me the other game when they won 7-0 at Brighton. So I think I've got to stick with the Forest boys. So I'm going to be playing 4 of them. Wood, Williams, Gibbs White, Sells, and then Declan Rice. Arsenal are playing Leicester. Now, Arsenal are injury stricken, which is terrible for me, by the way. I bought a Kai Havertz card like 2 weeks ago, thinking he's got no competition for his strikers anymore. He'll play every game now. Kai Havertz is going to be the guy for the second half of the season. Arsenal look like they're going to give Liverpool... They're going to at least challenge Liverpool for the title. Kai Havertz is injured. Yay. How do we practice calm? How do we practice zen? because it's really annoying when you buy a card. Kai Havertz wasn't cheap. I bought him as part of the Chelsea collection, so I had to pay a little bit extra because he's always a bit more for that Chelsea collection card. And he got injured. But I've got to remember the rules. I've got to go. It made sense when I bought him. When I bought Kai Havertz, it made sense. There was no competition for him up front. Jesus was injured. Sterling isn't on form. Saka's injured. I think Martinelli's injured. So it made sense to back Havertz. However, it didn't work out. How could I have seen that injury coming? I can't be too harsh on myself. He'll eventually come back. Maybe next season now he'll come back from injury, but he'll be a good card. He's a young player. He's going to have a big career still. We'll get some use out of Kai Havertz eventually, but it's not now. So I'm going to captain Declan Rice because I kind of think that Arsenal will buckle down now and will be a bit more solid. If they know they've got no fit strikers, they're going to have to come up with a system that makes them at least hard to score against, and then they nick a few goals on the counter-attack. So with that kind of how I see Arsenal playing, I think Declan Rice as a captain away at Leicester could be a great score from him. So that's going to be my number one Premier League team. Number two, I'm going to be backing Crystal Palace at home to Everton. Now, I do think Everton are going to give them a good game. I do think Everton are in form, but Crystal Palace are in form. And also, Everton have just played midweek against Liverpool. Crystal Palace haven't played midweek. So they're going to be a bit fresher. I think Eze or a few of them may have got rested in the FA Cup. So they're going to be nice and fresh for this game, whereas Everton aren't going to be nice and fresh. Everton have got a couple of injuries as well. So I'm hoping all of that works in favour for my stack of Palace players with Cole Palmer away at Brighton. I'm not expecting much from Chelsea. I am worried. Brighton beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, and I'm a bit scared they're going to beat Chelsea again. So Palmer's in this team, not this team, because I think Rice has got a better fixture. And then my last Premier League in-season team, it's a bit of a mixed bag, really. Bournemouth defensive stack. Elliot Anderson, because I couldn't fit him in this team, because I think Gibbs White's a better scorer than him. Cunha away at Liverpool, so don't know what to expect, really, because Liverpool did concede 2 against Everton, will be a bit tired. Wolves have had that little bit extra rest. Cunha, I think, seems to do well against the bigger teams. So if they're going to score, Cunha could be involved. And then the same reason why I captained Declan Rice against Leicester, Ethan Nwaneri should be in that first team now for Arsenal. Now that they've got all of these injuries, Nwaneri should be playing every game. So Leicester away is a nice fixture for him. I'm going to captain him and hope that he can do well for me here. Now we get to Premier League Classic, where I'm going to be backing Chelsea. And finally, it seems Robert Sanchez has been dropped from Chelsea's team after me complaining about him for weeks on the channel. He's finally been dropped, and that doesn't just work out for me, who already had a Jorgensen card. So Jorgensen being the Chelsea number one goalkeeper now is amazing for me because I've got him and I can put a full Chelsea stack out. Now, interesting here, a little tip for you. Christopher Nkunku could have a good game. Jackson seems to be injured. Nkunku should be playing as the striker. With that in mind, he's going to be playing. I'm going to captain him because I think he'll play up front, and surely he's desperate to prove himself. Surely he didn't get a move in January, so he's now got to really prove himself at Chelsea if he wants to have any kind of career at Chelsea next season, or wants to get a move in the summer. He's got to take advantage of Jackson being injured. So I'm all in. Me moving all my poker chips in. I'm all in. So on Nkunku, I'm going to be going for Caicedo and Fernandes because I think it'll be a scrappy game away at Brighton. I'm not playing Madueke. I'm not playing Sancho. I'm going to be instead going for the central midfielders because I think they'll get a lot of the action. And I think the wingers could be kept quiet. So I'll be going for them, Reece James, Jorgensen and Nkunku. Then I'm going to be backing my West Ham cards, which have not been delivering this season. However, they're playing Brentford at home. Brentford haven't been in great form. West Ham have been showing some green shoots, some promises of form here and there. Bowen is now back. So Bowen, Kudus, Paquetá is quite an attacking front three. If West Ham get going, Bowen, Kudus and Paquetá is a great 3 attacking cards. So I'm going to be going for them with Kilman and Areola. I think that if West Ham do well, I think they're the 5 best cards from West Ham. That's the 5 best defender, playing goalkeeper, Paquetá playing as a striker at the moment, Bowen and Kudus really lively down the wings, lots of AA. I think they're the 5 best West Ham cards. The problem is West Ham need to get going, and I've just got to keep playing these 5 cards until they do. So that's going to be my second lineup, and then we don't have a third. Trent Alexander-Arnold, by the way, I'm putting in this lineup, even though it's a great fixture for Liverpool. He's not fully fit. He came off the bench against Everton, but I'm just nervous that he won't start this game. And if he doesn't start, I don't know how great his score is going to be. So with that in mind, I'm going to play him in this warm-up league, because if he comes off the bench and does well, happy days. La Liga in season for Barcelona boys. Barcelona playing Rayo Vallecano at home. Rafinha, Lewandowski, Koundé, and Xavi, new signing. Xavi's scores have not been great. That's why I was able to pick him up quite cheap. His prices were like £15, £20, like back here. But his scores haven't been that great lately. He's had a bit of a dip, so I'm really hoping he gets going. The good news for me, and the reason why I bought the card, is he's still playing every game. He's still starting every game, and they are rotating Casado, they are rotating Frankie de Jong, they are rotating the kind of midfielders around them, Dani Olmo now and again. But Pedri and Xavi seem to be the kind of stable ones, and Pedri's like 40 odd pounds, so we're not going to go anywhere near there soon. So Xavi's the kind of cheaper Pedri option, and let's see. He's a bit of a gamble, but we're just hoping he gets that 1 week where he smashes, and when he does, the more reliable boys should do well as well. Dimitrovic is playing. I've got two of my cards playing against each other. Leganes are playing Alaves, so I'm probably going to favor the Alaves cards. So I've got the goalkeeper here, the striker here, and I'm not playing the defender anywhere because he might be injured. So goalkeeper here. In this lineup, we're going to be going for the Leganes striker. We're going to be going for two Alaves cards here, Jordan and Severa. I need to check before the deadline if Jordan is actually fit. He's rumoured to be, will start, but he has been injured for about 3 games. So we'll see with him. Julian Alvarez, nice game for Atletico Madrid at home to Celta Vigo. And another Barca boy. And then my third lineup is a complete gamble. DMP goalkeeper. Aguerd, Olmo, might not play. Romero, why not captain him? And then another Deportivo Alaves boy. That's La Liga. Then we go to Champion, where we're going to be backing the Monaco boys once again. Monaco boys are playing Nantes, which isn't the easiest game. And considering that Monaco aren't in the greatest of form, really don't know what to expect here. But I'm going to be playing my 4 Monaco boys and Santiago Jimenez at AC Milan, in good form. Hopefully he gets another start over Tammy Abraham. Let's see what he does against Hellas Verona. Then we've got another in-season classic team in Champion, with the Wolves goalkeeper making his debut, and he's got Liverpool away, so I'm really not expecting anything from this lineup. But it's in Division 5, so it's a bit of a throwaway lineup. Maybe he gets a good score, maybe he saves a penalty, and they still lose, but he gets a good score. If he does, these 4 cards around him should play. Whether Delap can do well, whether Bentancur does well, whether they do well, actually, we'll see. Classic Champion team. I quite like the look of this Champion team. We've got Aaron Ramsdale, not the best fixture, playing Bournemouth, but it is a home game, so he could make a lot of saves. And we've got Soleil, Zakaria. I've got 2 Zakaria cards now, by the way. Very weird. 1 in Chelsea and then 1 in Monaco. But from watching Monaco in the last 2 or 3 games, Zakaria has been really good. He's more than just a holding midfielder now. He's box to box. He's getting in the box way more than he used to. So keep an eye on Dennis Zakaria at Monaco. He's been putting in some good performances lately. His scores haven't been the best, but he's been getting into the box, getting shots. And you can see here, 60, a 63. And these 2 scores are bad, but that's because he made 2 errors. He gave away 2 penalties. Penalty conceded, penalty conceded. He's not hopefully going to concede penalties every game. And this was a hard game against Benfica. So a good score against PSG and a good score against Rennes. So I think Zakaria is one to watch. And I've got 2 Zakaria cards. So I really hope he gets going. So I'm playing 1 in here, João Felix, Malik Fofana, the wonder kid in Lyon. Hoping he gets a big move soon. And then we've got Challenger, where an okay team. Luke Kundle, part of my Wolves collection, has got a move to Millwall. And Nejli has also moved to Millwall. So these 2 cards I bought a while ago have both moved to Millwall. So all of a sudden, I guess I'm a Millwall fan. Wait, no, I'm not a Millwall fan. I'm not a Millwall. I'm a Chelsea fan. A Chelsea fan saying they're a Millwall fan, that's dangerous. But I've got these two boys from Millwall, so I'm keeping an eye out on Millwall's scores. Let's put it that way. Yanni Stukas is going to get the captain's band, and we're promoting him from the under-23s to Challenger Classic Team, Division 2. So let's hope he can give me a good score again. Bilal's back from injury, and we didn't really have any good defenders, so Ravic is getting a game. Contender in season. Here we go. Brunetta has finally earned his place in the in-season contender team. He's going to be captain with the Atlas boys and the Granada boys. I quite like that I've only got 3 teams here. 2 Granada, 2 Atlas, 1 Tigres. Let's see how they do. Atlas at home, Granada away, Tigres at home. Take that. It's really hard to in the Mexican league. Home and away advantage doesn't have as much weight. There's surprise scores all over the shop. So I'm rolling the dice here. Let's see what we get. My classic team also looks quite good. Castamina, Piovi, Paradella, Vegada has been doing quite well for America Cali lately. And Adrissi captain. Adrissi's doing quite well as well. There were rumours he was going to leave in this sort of off-season break in December. He didn't leave. He's decided to stay till after the Club World Cup. So for the next 6 months at least, Adrissi should be a good card to have. We've got 3 in-season, 3 classic teams actually. 3 classic contender teams, which we don't usually have. But with us signing a new goalkeeper in season, it means I can play another lineup in the classic with the Necaxa goalkeeper and the Santos goalkeeper here. And then some of these cards, they're gambles. We're not quite sure what to expect. Under 23s, quite a nice under 23 lineup. They've got tricky fixtures, but there's some good cards in this under 23 lineup. So if a few of them smash, we could at least not get relegated in the under 23 lineup this week. And then no training lineups because they do not exist anymore. So that is my lineups for the weekend, people. Good luck with your game weeks. If you've got any advice for me, any tips this week about staying calm and staying focused on my goals, I'd love to know any tips you guys use. Stay tuned to my next video on Monday, live Premier League and Sorare review show on Monday. Otherwise, I'll see you next Thursday for another Road to Sorare Boss. Good luck with your coming game weeks. Peace.